Hi, Grants Jam again with Anthony Dabrini here for a special YouTube broadcast on how to write grants and little like mechanical work, tactical and strategic work for grants. Is nothing better to do than take, what I was taught when I was young, how to do this. We have a fantastic service, www.cost.com, which is a grant search engine. This is part of a media and film class, and Anthony Dabrini has an idea, a kernel of an idea of why and how should a university actually be a great public university like Stony Brook. It's a great university. Why we should turn this into like a lifestyle camp. What is, I make the paradigm, Anthony. I say the university is either a cross, or the old version is a cross between a factory and a monastery. In the Middle Ages, it was a monastery for men mostly. Then it turned into a factory, right? Particularly the German model from von Humboldt, which America took, and not a place of privilege, typically like in the English system. Now it's becoming something else. What is it becoming?
Now it's, people come here. What I've noticed anyway, this is what really got me going on this idea, was I live on campus. I think it's 50% of students that go here live on campus. Yet a lot of them really go home on the weekends. And it was very confusing to me because I was going home once because I live on Long Island as well. And I saw an enormous amount of people at the train station. And
According to the president's
yeah.
idea, are these students supposed to be going home, or are we supposed to be living like a Club Med lifestyle here, or just studying like a bunch of monks?
Well, what they're trying to do is they try to keep students here. The weekends aren't supposed to be educational per se. They come up with programs and events to try and keep students here on campus to really interact with each other. Because, from my point of view, I always thought that coming here on campus, the main reason why I lived here was I like to meet people.
Right.
And I think if you get involved with different clubs and activities, it's really the way to go. A lot of students don't take advantage of that.
I'll have to interject this,
Yes.
and I think it's very prideful of Stony Brook in general that a lot of universities upstate, the go unmentioned, have weekends also where the students can't drive back to New York City where they might live, and alcohol is abused. It's like they're seen as party schools up in the woods, and weekends are the great times where they have bacchanalias and all that. I like the feeling at Stony Brook that a lot of my students here actually got part-time jobs, actually go back to the city to do their part-time jobs or to study, and of course there might be alcohol abuse here on campus and a lifestyle excess thing. But you're saying that we should preserve this sense that the modern university, especially an affordable one like this, a good one like this, should be part monastery, part factory, and kind of like part spa.
Yeah, more or less.
Or at least a
Yeah.
civic space where young people can consolidate, you can date each other, you can join your clubs, and it's a place of collectivizing, right?
Yeah, and it's just weird where Stony Brook's positioned because we're on Long Island and we're not in a upstate region where it's hard to move. We have the railroad right here on campus.
People tell me, I live in Brooklyn. I get on, dump me off, get on.
Can get anywhere they want so quickly. There's all those options, which are great, but
What about the demographics? Because I noticed that a lot of the populace, years ago they told me this was principally, maybe even like largely suburban people went to Stony Brook, suburban Long Island. Now I would say, wouldn't you say, gang, it's like half and half city people and then half Long Island or anywhere else in New York. And they're trying to attract out-of-state people because they pay twice the tuition when they come.
that was a recent thing I had learned about, was that they're really trying to pitch toward the out-of-state because of the double tuition. I have friends that are from like random states in the Midwest and such, and it's always interesting to see why they chose Stony Brook.
Do they consider this a quality school?
They enjoy it, but obviously they can't go home on the weekends too, because.
But they enjoy a great city like New York City,
oh,
right?
yeah, they'll go to New York City every so often. They'll just hang out on Long Island, I guess.
Right. I think this is a valuable discourse and interesting subject, Anthony. I would focus on this, which is interesting to me, gang. I don't know if anyone wants to chime in. Is this, okay, we go from monastery, Middle Ages, we go to factory in the 19th century, we go to the GI Bill after all the men come back from Normandy and they get this immense, maybe your grandparents got this, the GI Bill, which was a great dividend from fighting wars, where everyone can get an education. And now we're morphing really, frankly, gang, into this Club Med idea of education. I am trying to propose this idea we can be no place and every place with education. We don't really need these ugly walls, and we can go to yoga class for our lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want Anthony and the rest of you to think of, wait, what does it mean to you guys to be consolidated in one area as young people, a demographic, and experiencing the university lifestyle? Even for just an alumni base, and feeling like you enjoyed that period in your life, and you'd love to get back to Stony Brook. Thank you, Anthony.
Yep, thank you.